and your daughter is right next door here. You sure you don't want a water or something? You got a little water? Yeah, I got plenty more water, or diet, or regular soda. If you need to, just let me know. We just have other people talking, so we'd like to keep the door closed for some privacy. I know you're going through a difficult time, so if I'm going too slow or too fast, or if I'm asking something that is painful or hard for you, just let me know, okay? I have very limited knowledge of the events that transpired over this weekend, but I understand that you have some background information, some information that you think is going to be helpful for me. So I'm like a blank canvas for you. You tell me everything that you know and everything that you think is important for us to know, and I'll slowly take those things down one by one from you. And then I'll take some notes, and then I'll make sure that I get it right in my computer, so that way when I meet with the rest of the team that's involved in conducting this investigation, I can give them the exact thing that we talked about, okay? Okay. So you have some notes there?
Yeah, and this is straight from Nicole. I talked to her, and she wouldn't really talk about the relationship a lot, because he was very controlling. He was very controlling, and I had asked her if he ever hit her, and she said, yeah. And I told her that she had to come to my house and stay, and she had to get out of there. And she said that she couldn't because she didn't have any money. And she just felt she had no place to stay. She felt that she was alienated there with her kids and her baby. And she loved her kids. She loved her kids so much.
Vicki, why don't you start slow? Why don't you spell your first name for me?
V-I-C-K-I.
Let me see if I can get some more tissues for you, okay?
Actually,
you have some with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know if you need some more. Okay.
Okay. Again, I don't really know much. It's just, this is what Nicole told me.
And that's okay.
They're living.
And that's okay. I want to hear everything that you know, okay? Whether it's personally you saw things, or whether it's Nicole that told you these things. I want to know everything. Okay. So is it Vicki or is it Victoria?
It's actually Victoria.
And what's your middle initial?
A.
Let's play your last name for me.
M-E-Y-E-R.
M-E-Y-E-R. And a birthday for you?
2661.
Okay. And what's a phone number for you, Vicki?
465-1596.
465?
1596.
1596. What's your cell phone provider?
Verizon. That's my landline. It's AT&T. My cell phone is 370.
870?
I'm sorry, 370. 2685.
2685. So that's your cell?
Yeah.
And Verizon's for your home or your cell?
Verizon's my cell. AT&T is my...
And this is home, which is AT&T.
Yeah.
And Nicole, that's your daughter. Can you spell her name for me?
Nicole.
And her middle initial?
D.
T, isn't it?
D. Daniel.
And spell last name for me?
It's Vanderheyden. V-A-N-D-E-R. Capital H-E-Y.
U-Y?
E-Y.
E-Y.
D-E-N.
And a birthday for her?
March 29th, 85.
And a phone number for her?
660.
660?
9663.
9663. Do you know who her cell phone provider is?
I believe it was Cellcom.
Cellcom. Okay. Doug is her boyfriend and is the father of how many of her children?
Just one, yeah. They met and she got pregnant pretty fast, so they didn't really have a time to really know each other before anything really happened. And
So let's talk about Doug. What's his last name?
Detrie. I-E-T-R-E.
I-E-T-R-I-E. Okay. And her and Doug met when?
It was before Easter because I had the Easter egg that said baby left. And dying with a boy.
So prior to Easter of 2015?
Yep, yeah, prior to that little bitch.
Okay, and they have a daughter or son together?
They don't, Lane knows the wrong one. Tyler and Michaela are from a different marriage.
Nicole?
Doug and Nicole have Dylan together.
Dylan. D-I-L-L-O-N?
D-Y.
D-Y, okay. And Dylan?
L-A-N. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Take your time. If I get something wrong, that's my problem. I should ask you to get it right for me so I can figure it out. And what's Dylan's last name?
Detrie.
And do you know his birthday?
I do.
If you can't remember, it's okay. How old is he?
He's 6 months.
6 months, okay.
It's not there.
That's okay. It's understandable. Does Dylan have a middle initial?
D.
If you remember, you can tell me later. That's fine. Okay. So Doug and Nicole, how did they meet?
I think they met at a bar, actually.
Do you know which bar?
No, I don't have a clue.
And you're getting this information from Nicole, right?
Yeah.
Do you know where Doug worked?
He works for his dad.
And where is that?
That's Detrie Builders. And, I think maybe real estate too. But him and his parents, I guess, this is from Nicole, well, never, didn't get along well at all.
Who didn't get along well?
Doug with his parents. We get along good once in a while, and when the baby was born, for instance, to say, you know, this is from Nicole, he was mad at his mother, and he was upstairs sleeping because sometimes he gets sick. Since his father owned the place, he didn't feel he had to go to work, and a lot of times he didn't work. I know that they have a nice house right now, but I also know that his parents are paying a mortgage. I didn't know that was from her mom. But anyway, getting back to when baby was born, he was mad at his parents for what reason, I don't know. And he wouldn't allow his mother, into the house. And Nicole had invited her over, and they did pictures with the baby and stuff like that. And he woke up and he just, I guess, raised a lot of hell that she was there.
When you say raised hell, what do you mean?
He was angry. He was angry that Mom was there. I don't know. I don't know what happened after that. I just know that he was angry at her for having his mother over.
For baby pictures?
Yeah, and just to see the baby after the baby was born.
And you don't know why he was mad?
This is from Nicole. He has bipolar issues and depression, and he refuses any kind of medical help with it.
So he's not not taking medication?
No. And I knew when they met, it was going back, but she was real concerned because he did a lot of drug use.
That's what Nicole told you?
Yeah, cocaine. Yes, she told me she was very concerned about that, and she was trying to help him with that problem. And she knew that from the beginning, and she was just hoping.
Okay.
And she's against. Nicole is such a free-loving girl. She was a natural. She had natural beauty.
Yes, and you said that there was 2 other kids from a previous marriage. Nicole's previous marriage or Doug's previous
Nicole's
marriage?
previous marriage.
Okay.
He went to talk to Brian. Brian is a Superman.
Okay, so Brian is the ex-husband?
Yeah.
What's his last name?
Vanderheyen.
Thank you.
But we're going over there today because the kids don't know yet.
What's his last name?
Vanderheiden. Yeah. And he's been on good terms with Nicole. He's been over to the house. Sometimes they have a snow removal company, him and his brother do, and he'll have my other son come and help him, and
Why did he get divorced?
Nicole, I don't know, I think she was just kind of bored with him. He was a good man, but he had just no ambition, and he was fine where he was, and she wanted more out of life. She wanted more out of life. No, that would have never happened. Because they're good.
Do you know his phone number?
660
Mm-hmm.
9623.
Where does he work?
He works with his brother, landscaping company.
Do you know the name of it?
I can't think of it.
Okay.
Lawn
Green
care.
Gate?
Lawn care. Lawn care.
Lawn care?
Yeah.
Do you know his address?
Going out there today, I don't know. He lives with his parents in Swamico.
Okay.
The kids are out there right now. And I've been talking to Brian and his parents, and
Where's the 6-month-old? No.
he is with Doug and his parents.
Okay. And the 2
And then-
kids that they have, what are their names? The ones that are in Swamico?
Michaela,
Michaela? How do you spell that?
M-I-K.
M-I-K.
A-Y-L-A. Tyler, St. Vanderheyen.
Okay, both of them. Tyler, T-Y-L-E-R.
Mm-hmm.
And Michaela's home.
10,
And Tyler's home.
9.
Okay. So tell me about Nicole. Where did she work?
Well, Doug wouldn't hardly let her work. He would not take care of the baby, so she had a hard time getting a job. I mean, she was a teacher, a substitute teacher for the Green Bay Public School Systems, and she also was working at Ogden's in a restaurant down in De Pere. When she could, when he would allow her, I think.
What was the restaurant called?
Ogden's, O-D-E-N.
O-G-E-N.
I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Ogden's. Ogden.
That's in De Pere? As a waitress?
Yeah, and bartender, slash bartender. It's just a small little restaurant, and it's quaint, and it's kind of an exclusive.
Okay, so she wouldn't work regularly. In the last month, was she working?
Couple days.
And he didn't want her working because to take care of the children?
I think to take care of baby, yeah. I don't think he really took care of him much.
Are you close with Nicole? Did you see her daily, weekly? Did you speak with her?
I probably saw her 1 or 2 or 3 times a week. Talked to her on the phone just about every day. I did pick up the kids sometimes from school, have them at my house, and she'd come and get them. I babysit when she needed me to watch them, so she could go and basically usually work.
So they were living together at a house that's owned by his parents?
I don't know for sure. I think it's owned by Doug, okay? But I know that since he feels the need to work only when he wants, that his parents have a lot of money and they'll just take care of him. That's my personal opinion, okay? That's my opinion. But Nicole did say to me that, because she never wanted to say anything. She just kept it all in. And, I got bits and pieces here and there. But she finally did say that his parents were paying the mortgage. And that's all I know about that.
So let's talk about, you mentioned when we first sat down that he was controlling. Tell me what you know personally.
Well, one
you
thing.
didn't believe that he's controlling.
Mother's Day, I think I didn't really see it, but they made plans to go to his mother's house and never came to my house. I guess the one that I can really say I saw was she wanted to go to a wine tasting somewhere, and she called me to babysit, and I said, yeah. And she says, it'll be over about 8 o'clock. I'm waiting, and it's 10 o'clock, and still they hadn't arrived. So I called, and I said, it's getting kind of late because I work in the morning. And I said, maybe it's not a good idea anymore. And she said, well, Doug's not here. I said, well, where is he? And he went to get a haircut at 8 o'clock. And he didn't get back until 10. And I think that was his way of controlling the situation, saying he didn't want to go, but didn't want to tell her no, maybe. I don't know.
Tell me what Nicole has told you.
Nicole told me, doctor said, I know that he wouldn't watch the baby. So she'd go to work. She would have to find somebody to help her out. And I know that she said she felt really alienated because whenever she wanted to do something with her friends, he wouldn't basically let it happen, but it was okay to be with his friends. Baby. I just know that he hit her once.
Tell me about that.
I asked her then on the phone, you know.
When was this?
Well, that was last week. It was when she wanted to go out to the wine thing, and he didn't show up, and she was crying, and I started asking her questions, you know. And I asked her, did he ever hit you? And she said, yeah. And then she didn't elaborate anymore on that. She wouldn't go into it. She was real private. I think she was maybe ashamed that she got stuck in the situation that she was in. And she felt she couldn't get out because baby. And he did alienate her. We had family functions, he'd never be there. And then she'd show up super late all the time. I'm thinking that they had arguments because he didn't want her to go. And it was just maybe like, you know, I try to just do, on Tuesdays when I have off, I cook, and if anybody that, any of the kids, they're hungry, I'm home and eat. And
So you said that he would not show up at family functions, would she?
and late, always late. I mean, it wasn't, yeah.
Why was she late?
Let's see. My gut feeling, I don't know if you can go with gut feelings, but it's that he didn't want her to go. I don't understand any of this. Do you have any answers? I don't know. I don't know if, I don't want to put the blame on Doug, but just all this stuff is hitting my mind. Could it be? Or did she just walk in the wrong area of town that night? Or why would he let her walk home? Why would he let her walk home? The babysitter that Dallas and somebody interviewed her. I was talking to her yesterday, and she asked where Nicole was, and that was this way up. I wasn't even there, but I'm just saying something, and oh well, she likes to walk. Yeah, she does like to walk. Okay, she likes to run. She likes to rollerblade, but not at 12:30 at night when she's been drinking. And okay, my daughter is not a drinker. You know, like an occasional drinker. And considering she's an occasional drinker, if that it doesn't take much for her to drink and become intoxicated. I mean, you know, ask her if she wanted to have a drink or go for a walk on the trail. or a bike ride, which we were gonna do. It would be the bike ride.
So what's your feeling? What do you think happened to Nicole?
I don't understand. Everything that Doug, when he was talking, nothing made sense. I just don't understand. I didn't get a clear picture of anything. Why was she with his friends when they went out together? Why did it take him so long to get the sardine can? And then, you know, with Dallas's comments on the phone yesterday, she was a babysitter that was there when Doug came home, and she just thought he was acting super strange. You know, I don't know if he got mad at her. I asked if they were in a fight, and he told me no. But then you look at the text messages, and Nicole had mentioned something about that he was flirting with all these other girls, I guess, and she said, "You can go with all your whoring bitches." I think that's what her statement was.
And that was a text message from her to him? And how did you see that text message?
I didn't see it. This is just stuff I heard yesterday. And then I'm just scared that maybe because she was walking in a really bad neighborhood and somebody just got her and abused her. I don't know. I don't know. There's two scenarios. I don't know. How can we get from that area of town to right here? Right here. You know where Doug lives. He lives just down the road from you. Nothing is adding up in my mind. I don't know. I don't know. I just need an answer.
Tell me what Doug told you.
He was just, oh my God, I don't know. We went over there.
To his house?
Yeah, to his house, and his parents were there because they had the baby. And that's what happened. And,
This was on Saturday or Sunday?
This is Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night. Heather's mother's went, those 2 years ago all the time. That's good. So she had left with his friends. Well, I don't even know who his friends are. Girls, there were some girls he mentioned. And he stayed, I guess, behind, and he said he had to go to the bathroom, and since it was a concert, it was a 15-minute wait to get to the bathroom. And then he finally went over there. No,
so Nicole left with his girlfriends, left from where?
From the watering hole where they went to see a concert, I guess, to go to the sardine can.
Okay, so watering hole, she leaves with his friends, and then he stays behind for a bathroom. Then what did he say happened?
Hold on.
That's okay. Take your time.
Basically, he got there, he was texting her on the way. And then, was that when her phone went dead, he said? And he was trying to text her, and he got there. I don't think he ever saw her. So that's what he said. I don't think he saw her at the sardine can.
Okay.
But his friend did. This Greg. And he said, well, Doug told me that she was doing shots and she was really wasted. And that his friends were all standing outside. Now, where he is, I don't know, I guess, at this time, or something. I'm not clear on anything, because it just didn't make sense. It's hard to talk to him. It's not a continual thing. But his friends were standing outside waiting for an Uber cab, I guess. And Nicole started walking away, and one of his friends was trying to get her back, to get her home. And he said something about that Nicole was lying on the ground, screaming and kicking and telling him to leave her alone. Doesn't really sound like her, but okay. Could be. And then the cab came, and he left her there. And when his cab was gone, they all left her there.
All right, so the friend tried to get her in the Uber, and she was crying and screaming and that on the ground. So the friend and basically everyone left in an Uber. And where's Doug getting this information from?
I don't know. He couldn't have been. I don't know.
But he wasn't there.
I don't think he was there yet.
Okay. So he must be getting it from his friends. Okay. Then what did Doug say happened? How did he ever go to Sardine Can?
I think he did go to Sardine Can, and she wasn't there, and he said he spent like 30, 40 minutes driving around looking for her.
Were his friends there when he got there?
I think not. I'm not sure, but I don't think he drove because his car was at the watering hole, I believe.
So how was he driving around?
It must have been his friend, Greg maybe, that went with him. Because when I don't know. They'll say I don't know this. But when Dallas, she was babysitting, when we came home, he came home with a friend. And the guy grabbed a yogurt out of the refrigerator and said, "Man, I'm hungry." And they were kind of just walking around the house acting really strange, and they were going to go out again. And
what do you mean acting strange?
And she said they were just pacing around. And she was trying to ask him questions where Nicole was.
And what did they say?
Weird answers. And she was joking, and she said, "Well, where's Nicole?" And he said, "I don't know. She wanted to walk home," and that was she liked to run home. And something about, she asked, well, where was she walking from or to? And I don't know, she said something like, "Did she get to Webster Street?" And his answer was no, she never got that far. This is what she told me. And I think she has her, because I was babysitting from 7 until 10:30, until Dallas got there. And then Dallas took over for me because I had to work in the morning, and she was there when Doug got there. And the guys wanted to leave again, and she said, no, I've got to go home, I have my own.
So back that up. On Friday, you babysit the children from when?
I babysat Dylan from 7 until 10:30.
Dylan from 7
Yeah.
to when?
10:30 at their house.
10:30.
And then Dallas came and relieved me after she got done working at Odin's restaurant.
So 10:30.
Yeah, and she was there until Doug got back.
Okay, and you went home.
I went home.
Okay, and where are the other 2 children? Nicole?
On weekends, they're with their dad. During the week, they're with Nicole.
Okay, so at 10:30, did Dallas say when they came home?
When he came home, when him and his Greg came in,
Mm-hmm.
was it 3-ish? I think it was 3-ish.
Okay, and they were acting strange, they were pacing around.
And then they wanted to go back out. She said no.
Where did they want to go back out?
Don't know. Don't know.
Because the bars are closed at that point, right? Okay. And
Something else.
so back to what Doug told you. So he says that she's on the ground yelling and screaming. You don't know where he gets this information, but he's not at Sardine Can. And then he shows up at Sardine Can. She's not there, and he goes driving around, but he couldn't have been in his car because his car was still at the watering hole. So you think that it was maybe with Greg, 30, 40 minutes looking for her. Then what does he say he does after he tries to look for her?
I think he said, is anyone home? I don't know for sure. I don't know. After that, I don't know.
Okay. Did you talk to him whether she was home when he got home or not? Nicole. Was Nicole home when he got home? No. Did he talk about whether he was worried? Did he say if he went home with Doug or with Greg, or what did he say? Did he say who brought him home? No. Okay. What does he say he did next?
I think he just stayed there then with baby.
Okay.
Because Dallas left. And he called Dallas back and asked where baby was, because he didn't have a clue where the baby was. And she said, it's up in the room in your crib. Well, not actually in the crib, it was a little infant sleeper that I got down there. So I didn't have to run upstairs, and I could be right by him. And she took it upstairs to the bedroom. And he had called her back and asked, where's baby? She told him, and I don't know, he said, why is he in there?
Okay.
And that's all I know about that part.
Did he tell you when he called the police or anything? Or?
I called the police at 7:30 then, on Saturday.
That's what he told you?
That's what I... Did I talk to him or is it together? I talked to him.
That's okay. You can't remember whether he told you he called the police or not. Did you ever talk to him why he didn't call the police that night? No. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just take a quick little break? Do you want me to get another bottle of water for you?
Yeah.
Let me get another bottle of water for you. I'm going to get
another...
another... What was that?
Can I have a cigarette?
Absolutely. Why don't we do that? Before we do that, do you have your cell phone with you?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a cell phone in your car? Or?
Oh, it was charging because I used it.
Okay.
And
But it's in the car? Oh, it's
no.
Okay, sounds good. And you live, where was that again?
532 Eastview.
532
Eastview Drive, Green Bay.
Drive, Green Bay. What's the zip code there?
54302.
Is that close or far? Is that east side or west side?
That's east side.
East side.
Yeah, it's right over by Brogan's
Okay.
Shoes.
Why don't we do this? I'm going to show you where you can smoke. Actually, you can probably smoke in here. Let me get a ashtray for you. I'll get you some water, and then you look at your notes and you think of anything else that we may have missed, and then we'll come back and talk a little more, okay? So let me do that. Let me get you an ashtray first. So what I've been doing is I've been taking some notes here. Since I have horrific handwriting, I'm going to use my little iPad that I carry around with me, and I'm going to see if we can put something together so I can have a clear understanding and image of what it is that you told me, okay?
Doug did call today. He called yesterday, and he said he was just checking in, and he called back. And I did not. We had just people coming in all day yesterday. All my friends. Sorry.
It's okay.
And then he called this morning. He called again last night. Talked to Heather, and I don't know what they said, but I know he called her. And then he called this morning and asked if his mother and him and Dylan could come over. And I don't know if it's a good idea, because my husband is kind of, I just don't know if it's a good idea, do you know, because I don't know what's happening, and it may not even be, I don't even know, do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't even know, I might be
Don't worry about trying to pick the right word, just say whatever word comes to your mind, okay, so.
We just all have this maybe kind of thing, thinking Doug maybe has involvement in it. Okay, so it's like...
Involvement in what?
Nicole's death.
Okay. And what makes you think that?
Because nothing he said made sense. Nothing just made sense. I tried to talk to him, and it was like this little bit of information and this little bit of information, and it's kind of contradicted itself. Some stuff, I don't know. It just never was. I don't know. It just never seemed to be the same. It's not the same thing. I don't know. And then my husband noticed that when he was in the house that he was really, what did he say this morning to me? That I didn't notice, but he was real clammy. I don't know if they had real, I don't know. You just notice that. I don't know. I were maybe assuming, trying to find an answer. Don't know if it was, yeah, you know, and then later on, then Doug did mention something about his friend when Nicole's down on the ground. And I guess down the block, there was this bonfire going on with all these people there. I don't know. I just know that's another part of the story that came out later. And they were talking about not such a good area of town. So, did they rape her? Did they beat her up? I don't know.
So if you had to guess, speculate, do you think that it was a stranger that did something to her when she was out on her own, or do you think that Doug had some involvement? Well, is it more or less than 50-50?
I'm hoping it's not Doug.
Or what does your heart tell you?
My heart hurts. I just, you know, within the last, he just, they would never want to come over. He never came to any family outing that we had or anything. It had always been Nicole alone. Why is that?
Do you think Doug is capable of hurting or killing Nicole?
I think he's capable of hurting her. I do believe he's capable of hurting her, especially if he's bipolar. Because I know what that's
He's
like.
capable of killing her?
If maybe using one of his different frames of mind. I kind of have to say yes, because I went through that with my husband. And only in matters of, this is why I'm worried about him, only in matters of deep stress. Well, sometimes his bipolar come out. And it was a scary moment years ago when that happened.
Are there any stressors that you're aware of that Nicole and Doug were currently going through?
Well, I guess the house was supposed to be up for sale. I don't think he ever put it up for sale.
Why would the house be up for sale?
Because he doesn't have money to pay for the mortgage, but his parents are paying the mortgage. And that's my understanding.
What other stressors? Was having a young child so early in a relationship, was that a stressor?
Okay, that could very well be. I don't think he's taken too much care of them.
Is that his only child?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any other children? What other stressors?
Well, I imagine drug use is a big stress. I know that was a big issue when they first met, that Nicole was trying to help him with. Because she's totally against that. Totally against it. And then she got pregnant, and then there's the relationship.
Who else besides Doug do you think is capable of hurting and killing Nicole?
Don't want to be racist, but walking at night by herself, she's a tall, beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a stranger? Okay. So besides Doug and a stranger, who else do you think would be capable of hurting or killing Nicole or would want to do that? No one else? Okay. Why don't I just start putting some of these things down, and you and I can work on this together and come up with a statement.
Oh, boy.
And if you think of things, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
How many children do you have, Victoria?
I have 4. I had 4.
Are they all adults? Do they all live in Green Bay?
Doesn't make sense. Why would they leave her there? Why would they leave somebody like that alone? So what if a cab is there, you know? There's more cabs. There's always more cabs to be called. I don't understand. They just would have stayed with her and got her home.
Do you know Greg at all?
No, I don't know any of his friends. I'm reading his friends.
husband?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
My son Brandon, he's the youngest, he's 20.
And your husband's name is?
Stephen.
Same last name as yours?
Mhm.
What's his phone number?
I'm sorry?
What's his phone number?
73.
You can't remember, it's okay.
7433. 334. 734-3343.
734-3343.
That's right. Sorry, myself, I get just boom.
Yeah. How about a birthday for Stephen? Do you know?
August 2nd, 57.
And I'm sorry to put you on a spot like that. Sometimes I can't remember my own mom's birthday either, so. And you said Brandon's your youngest son? Yeah? Same last name as yours, Meyer?
Yes.
What's his birthday?
Come on, you're asking hard questions right now. 95. September 2nd, 95. It's harder as the years go by to remember stuff.
Where do your other two children live in town? And are they married, not married?
Not me.
Okay. And you have a son, so
Brent.
Brent, same last name?
Meyer, yeah. His birthday is 10/12/87.
He lives in Green Bay by himself, or does he live with somebody else?
He lives with a friend, boyfriend. Not boyfriend, I don't mean that. Group. A guy.
With a friend of
Share the
yours?
rent. Yes, there we go.
Okay.
Clarify that's not gay.
That's okay. And you have a daughter or son besides Brandon?
Heather.
Brent, I'm sorry, Heather, okay, and that's Heather here, okay. How old is Heather?
26.
Same last name?
Yes. 7/17. 90.
90?
90. 76.
I got right around just 26, I think.
Yeah. 90, yeah.
Okay. And she lives by herself in Green Bay?
And her son.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we've been talking about Nicole being missing and being deceased. Did somebody tell you that she was deceased?
Not yet. We're waiting on dental records for confirmation. Okay, yes, this is one thing I'm going to make a point of. When the medical examiner came,
They came to your house?
not last night, night before, 3 o'clock in the morning. And they're asking the questions, protocol, scars, whatever. And Doug, Stephen called Doug, I think, okay, at that moment in time to say that he was there. And Doug already was saying that they had confirmation because of the pink bracelet she was wearing and her clothes. And the medical examiner was shaking his head in the kitchen and saying that's not true. That is not true.
Okay, so the medical examiner was at your house a couple of nights ago at 3 in the morning, saying that, you were saying about dental records, so you were aware that there was a woman that was located, right, nearby, near the sheriff's office here? Okay, and how did you learn that?
Well, there was a body found that Heather heard on TV. And she called me, and I said, no, it's not Nicole. It's not Nicole. It's not Nicole. Then I learned that from the medical examiner for a positive that there was a body.
Okay.
And that they were trying to identify it. And I totally had forgotten about Nicole, about Heather working, because she's going to school at NWTC as dental hygienist, and she did Nicole's teeth. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So they did the records. So they had stopped the autopsy like at 5 o'clock. But they're going to resume it today, so we still don't have a final confirmation, identification on who she really is, but police officer Conrad said that he didn't give us much information, but just wanted us to know that it's a good possibility that it's Nicole. So there's no confirmation yet, but Doug is saying there was. And it's not you. So I don't know where he's getting that information.
Okay.
I don't know if the detective told him that.
Sure.
I don't know. But I think that was his, I know she made a statement, and it's just really weird behavior, she said. That's hearsay for me. Okay, that's just hearsay, and I guess that's why my heart is saying, did you do that? And if she was at the sardine can, how did she end up right here? And they live just right behind Shopko Express. Too much for me to think about and consider. Let my mind go nuts on. I didn't know Doug that well. He didn't let you know him.
So they weren't married, they were just boyfriend and girlfriend? Did they live together anywhere else before they lived at this house?
No.
Where did she live before she lived at this?
She lived in an apartment,
By herself or with an ex?
by herself with kids.
Okay, after the divorce.
Right.
And where did he live, do you know?
Just down the road in this house, yeah.
Oh, he was already in the house, so she moved in with him at this house?
Yeah, he obviously has owned this house for quite some time, because one of the comments made that why he told me before I found out that about the mortgage thing was that he didn't want to live there because he had bad thoughts about his old girlfriend that used to live there.
Okay.
Okay, that probably has nothing to do with it, but that's another thing that I just remember. The Tubero complex over here. Part is that Tubero or two? I can't think of it. It's just right up the road, right off behind Piggly Wiggly.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
And there's those large apartment complexes there.
Yeah.
I'm aware of them.
Yeah. storage from, that apartment. I have no more storage containers. I gotta put it up. I gotta get all my stuff. I gotta get all my stuff out of the house. And I feel I have to get baby out of the house, but I don't think I have any right. I don't know. I don't think he's capable of raising Dylan. That's my thought. And I know that Heather, between Heather, she would adopt him, and I would be there anytime. Take care for baby, anytime. And the other two kids are real fortunate because they have a loving dad and they're in a good environment. We have to go back to this and tell them they don't know.
So think back, you must have learned that Nicole was missing this Saturday, and you said you initially learned from Doug that she was missing. Did you learn that before or after he called the police? Think back of how you learned that Nicole was missing.
I think that actually Heather called me and said that she didn't come home because she must have talked to Doug. I think, yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know, I didn't even talk to Doug until I got to the house. I think it was all correspondence between me and Heather and Doug. No, I think. Yeah, I'm almost positive because he wanted to know if he should call the police. And he both, yeah. How that happened.
So when you came over to the house, he hadn't called the police yet?
I know he had called the police because the police were already there.
Oh, when you came to the house, the police were there?
After because I didn't get there till like 8:30.
So who was you wanting to know whether you should call the police, Heather or?
Yeah, he asked Heather, I think. Yeah. And when I got there, his parents were there, and my daughter. And Doug and the baby. So I was just hoping that maybe, there was a phone message that said, that from Nicole, I guess one of the last ones, because I kept on trying to call her phone. Constantly, and it went dead all the time, Nikki. And so it's like, phone messages are full. But I don't understand, and I tried to ask him, in what series of time did Nicole give you that last message? But at least I found somebody I know. And I tried to get when that happened and where were you, where was she? Was she in Southern Canada at that time? Was she walking at that time? I don't know. So that gave me hope. Okay. And I was holding on to that hope. Okay, she was somebody she knows. She's safe. Maybe she just needs a cooling off period with somebody, that she knew. But I don't know what time frame that even fit into. I have no clue. And I tried to ask that, and then I never got a definitive answer, you know? I mean, he was trying to say the same things over and over and over again, but it just didn't make any sense in my mind. And he's just a hard person to get to know him when you get to know him.
Do you know if you reported her missing before or after you learned, or Heather learned about?
I'm sorry, Chris?
Before or after Heather learned there was a woman that was found in the field?
Before. Because it's the 10 o'clock news.
Okay.
Or the 9 o'clock news. Or maybe it was, I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't knows the answer. But, yeah, it was after. The information on the news was after he had reported it.
Because it was the 10 o'clock news?
If it was a 10 o'clock news, unless it was a special report, I don't know. But I don't remember the times.
Okay.
But she called me just screaming, Mom, they found the body. I'm like, it's not her. It's not her, Heather. It's not her, Heather. And that's when I went over. Because I was just trying to call Heather. I was just trying to get in contact with Nicole all night long. Just praying to God her phone would get turned on or she would charge it. And I kept on thinking she was at somebody's house. And I guess maybe what makes me think that maybe Doug had or something to do with it was because, we were sitting there waiting for the police to come back with his phone, and he said it would be in half an hour, and then all of a sudden, how many officers came in, 3 undercover detectives, and one at the door, and the 2 detectives that were handling the case. He wanted to talk to Doug alone, and then they confiscated the cars and put the house.
When the medical examiner came, was that at your house or Doug's house?
My house.
Okay. And then your husband was home then too?
Yeah, because I had just fallen asleep. And let me tell you, that was the worst feeling ever, besides this one. My heart stayed at my feet. Yeah, I don't know who would want to do this to her. I just don't have that. She had goals in life. She wanted to go back to school. She was already a teacher, but she wanted to go back to medicine. What she wanted to do was get with her kids.
Be right back, okay?
Oh, they're good to set. Oh,
Well, whatever you don't need, that's fine.
thank you.
Or you can just leave that there and then nibble on. Do you know the address of Doug's house?
Berkeley Street, I don't know the rest of it.
On Berkeley Street? So when they got together, he had a drug problem. Did she tell you that drug problem has subsided, or has it continued? Do you know?
I don't know. I never heard of another thing about that. Or maybe. But I think she's still dealing with it, you know, the more I think about it. But it's not a fact. I don't know. Oh, and alcohol problem too. He drank a lot.
Nicole told you that, or you knew?
Yeah, I knew that too. But yeah, he did, yeah. Nicole told me.
How long was she married for?
9 years.
Do you think Brian would ever want to hurt
No.
Nicole?
No.
Or kill her?
No. No. No, he was the best guy for her. He'd do anything for her. It was her decision to split up, and it killed him. No. She'd call him, help out with the kids or whatever, and he'd be right there. I'd call him, help me with something in the yard, he'd be right there. Never. And then I called him to tell him that they pretty much identified the body as being Nicole. They just waiting for general records. Things like that. Those sons of bitches. I was no, pests. This comment. Just pissed, mad. Stuff. Yeah, dropped the kids up for Christmas. And I asked him if I wanted to eat dinner, and he sat down and ate dinner, and left and gave us all big hugs. I know. around and keep taking care of the kids and stuff. They never argued about it. But I did. Well, it was that situation of one. was speaking about bipolar when my husband changed that personality up just once I saw. Never remember doing it. Never remembered. I tried telling him anything, I didn't. It's pretty tough. He changed the way he dressed. Just a little insight.
Do you know if your daughter had life insurance?
No, she didn't. I'm gonna try to do a benefit.
What was that?
I'm gonna try to do a benefit. And I don't know where to start here.
Who did you find out about Nicole sending a message to Doug, being angry that he may be out with other women and that he should just go with them?
I think that was when the police went into her phone. I remember, and I think it was Heather.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's when they went into her phone. That was a conversation we were having. And that last message, and then I guess last thing on her phone, I guess from the cell town tower, was that she walked to Wausau in 7 minutes. Oh, I don't know. That was kind of weird. I don't know. But yeah. So obviously there was an argument, and he said there was none, so it's like, What's up with that? Then I asked him directly, I said, did you guys have a fight? And he said, no.
You went there with your husband to his home on Saturday night, and he was with his parents and the baby, right?
And my daughter was also there. She was
Heather. And so did you go with your daughter, or was she already
No,
there?
she was already there. She went after work, so she got there about 7. And then I got there at 9. Yes. So it's been a 9 o'clock meeting that she heard that on.
And the band was at the watering hole?
Yeah.
Funeral? Okay. So did Doug's friends meet him there? Were they out with them? Did Nicole have friends with her?
Nicole and her friends.
Okay.
They're all Doug's friends.
Okay. Did they meet him out, or did they go out with them? Do you know?
I think maybe they met him.
Okay.
I do not know. They just left together from the house. Nobody else was there.
Got it. And she knows Dallas from working with her at a restaurant.
Right, yeah, and they periodically watch each other's kids. Or I know Dallas would periodically watch the kid. I know she's got a little one, I think, yeah. I mean, Nicole would watch him once in a while, or go do things with him. Dallas just said it was the first time she ever babysat at the house. Usually Nicole brought Dylan over.
How do you know that Doug's, is that a truck? Or a car, what does he have?
He has, a car.
Okay, and how do you know that was left at the watering hole? He told you that?
No, I think I learned that somewhere else. But I never, yeah. I guess it's so, yeah, I know, I think he said that, but he said he was driving too, so I don't know. I assumed he was driving, but I know. Part I just don't know much about. That's the important part.
You might ask Greg as his friend.
Huh?
kind of car does Nicole have?
Beautiful.
And does she normally drive that car? Does Doug ever drive that car?
You can't say I saw him driving it ever.
Okay. And do you know how many keys are to that car? No? Okay. Is it an older car or a newer car?
It's kind of a newer one.
Okay.
I think it's over 2006 or 8, I'm guessing. She's done a couple of years ago.
So what did Dallas tell you when Doug, when she asked about Nicole's whereabouts, what did he say to Dallas?
What did he say to Dallas? Well, I don't know, she's just throwing random questions. This is a phone call.
Sure.
I talked to her yesterday on this one. And I guess she was just throwing random questions to find out where Nicole was. Because she didn't come home with him. And she was concerned about that. So, I mean, jokingly she said, well, is she in the trunk? No, she's not in the trunk. Well, you said she was walking. She enjoys walking at night. Well, where did she go? And, my super comment was that she didn't get that far. She didn't get to the bridge.
Did he ever tell you where Nicole went that night? Did Doug ever tell you where she went that night?
Where she went was to the sardine can. And
Did he tell you where she went after that?
no, just
Okay.
walking down the street.
Okay.
And his friends chased.
Got it.
And to my knowledge, it sounded like he wasn't even there. She said, "Well, my nerves is sticking out in my head."
bad thoughts about his ex-girlfriend at this house, and the reason he doesn't want to stay there, did you get that from Doug, or did you get that from Nicole?
All this time, I really never talked to Doug that much. He's never been on to talk to. I need to get to know him.
that we talked about, with the house and money and the young child and drug use and mental health, do you think those may be contributing factors to, that may have led Doug to, or to kill your daughter, Nicole? Why do you think that Doug may want to hurt your daughter or kill her?
Just, because he's so, sketchy. I don't know. I don't know if this, you know, when you talk to him, you can't have an eye-to-eye conversation because that doesn't happen. I don't know if it's... I don't know how his actions and how quiet she was about stuff, and she's not a quiet person. I mean, you know, she's pretty much she'll tell you what's on her mind, and she wouldn't tell much about anything that was going on with her ever. And you gotta pull it out of her. So it just makes me think that something wasn't quite right. That's, I guess, where I'm coming from. And the fact that he never wanted to do anything with that Noss, and if he did, it was for maybe half an hour and then he'd leave. I don't know, just behavior just wasn't what I expected, okay? Father to my grandson. Normal expectations. I mean, I don't have high expectations. Just normal expectations. That's just the way what I feel. Can't help it. She was walking down the street and somebody there are a lot of strange people out there, you never know. I don't know, that's the only two things that run through my mind. And just look at that, why would anybody stay with her? Why? You know, a group of friends there, and none of them stayed.
Did you have some stuff in your notes there that we didn't talk about?
Oh, the abusive and controlling history of abuse, same thing, bipolar, depression, no meds, cocaine use, and that's just told to me by Nicole.
We've talked here for a little while here, and I've taken some notes, and then I put stuff on here. Why don't we do this? It's on the computer. If something is not accurate or true, we can always change it. It's right here on the computer. If we need to elaborate on something, or you just think of something new, let me know and we can add it, okay? and if we need to take something away, we can do that as well. So let's do that. Let's go slowly, paragraph by paragraph through this.
In the book.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I just want to be detailed, and maybe as we're
I
going.
think I have that much information to give.
And maybe as we're going through this, you'll think of something, and let me know. We can add it right away on here, okay? So first, let's make sure that I got your name spelled correctly, your address, your birthday, your phone number. Okay, so we'll just go paragraph by paragraph. On fact 23, which is today, I came over to the Brown County Sheriff's Office, BCSO, willingly and voluntarily, and agreed to speak with Sergeant Aronson. That's me, okay? My name is Victoria Meyer, birthday 26/61. My phone number is 920-465-1596, with AT&T as the provider. My cell number is 920-370-2685, with a cell phone provider of Verizon. I live at 532 East View Drive, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 54302, along with my husband, Stephen Meyer, 8252. Phone number is 920-734-3343. And my youngest son, Brandon Meyer, birthday 9/2/95. I have a total of 4 children. My other son is Brent Meyer, 10/12/87, and he resides in Green Bay with a friend of his. I have a daughter by the name of Heather Meyer, 7/17/90. Heather lives with her son in Green Bay. Heather is currently speaking with another detective at the Brown County Sheriff's Office, correct? I have another daughter by the name of Nicole Vanderheyden, 3/29/85. Her cellular telephone number is 920-660-9663, with a possible cell phone provider of Cellcom. Nicole had recently had a baby with a live-in boyfriend by the name of Doug Detrie. This last Saturday, I learned that my daughter Nicole was missing. I believe I may have learned this from my daughter, Heather, as she must have spoken with Doug. I later learned from Heather that Doug was inquiring whether he should call the police to report Heather missing, which he ultimately did. I later learned from Heather that she saw on the news that a woman's body was found in a field by the Brown County Sheriff's Office. If this was the 10 p.m. news, then this would have been after Doug would have reported Nicole missing, unless there was another news program at a different time.
Yeah, okay, because I think it had to be, because I got there about 9.
Okay.
Okay, so it had to be earlier, so you covered it.
We can change that to 9 if you want.
I think I had it be 9. It
Okay.
could have been 10.
Unless there was another different time. I don't really recall the sequence of events. A couple of nights ago, I was at home with my husband when the medical examiner came to our house. He was telling us that they could not make a positive identification of the body that was located until they could check her dental records, which is not scheduled to be done until today. He told me that based on this information, that they could not make a positive identification as of yet. They asked me about her scars and things like that. While the medical examiner was at our house, Doug called and was telling me that the body the police found was confirmed to be that of Nicole due to her pink bracelet and that she was wearing and her clothes. The medical examiner was shaking his head, telling me that this was not the case. Correct?
Correct.
So that's page number 1. I'm just going to do that. So if that's true and correct, I just need your initials right there on the X. It doesn't like the nail, it likes the padded part of your finger. There you go. Nicole and Doug met very recently, sometime prior to Easter 2015. They were not together that long when Nicole got pregnant with her son, Dylan D. Detrie. Dylan is about 6 months old now. Nicole lived by herself in an apartment behind Piggly Wiggly prior to moving in with Doug at the house where he's currently living. The address is located on Berkeley Street. I believe that Nicole and Doug met at a bar. Doug does not have any other children of his own and works for his father, Detrie Builders, doing construction and realtor work. I believe that Doug's parents have a lot of money. I never really got to know Doug at all, as he was distant from the family. The majority of what I know about Doug is based on the limited information that Nicole would tell me. Nicole was quiet and kept to herself and very rarely discussed her relationship with Doug. I know that Doug did not get along with his parents. There were times when he would not go to work because his father owned the company. Doug also did not want his own mother coming over to the house to see the baby. I recall Nicole telling me about an incident shortly after the baby was born. Nicole invited Doug's mother to the house to see the baby and take pictures. But when Doug found out that his mother was at the house, he became angry and raised hell. Correct? Mm-hmm. Nicole also told me that Doug suffered from mental illness to include bipolar and depression. Nicole said that Doug refused to seek medical help for his mental health problems and was therefore not taking any medications. Nicole also told me that when she first met Doug, he had a drug problem, more specifically cocaine. I believe that Doug has continued to deal with his drug problem, but I'm not for certain. Nicole also told me that Doug had an issue with alcohol and would drink in excess. Correct? Mm-hmm. Nicole was previously married about 9 years to a guy by the name of Brian Vanderheyden. Brian was the best guy for Nicole. It was her decision to split up with him, and that really hurt him. Nicole and Brian had 2 children together. They're Michaela Vanderheyden, 10 years old, and Tyler Vanderheyden, 9 years old, correct? Nicole would call Brian to watch the kids, and he was always there. I still call Brian. Nicole and Brian have remained on good terms. Nicole told me that she split with Brian because she was bored with him and he had no ambition and she wanted more out of life. Brian is not at all capable of hurting or killing Nicole. I had spoken with a Brown County Sheriff's Office official who indicated to me that positive confirmation has not yet been made, but there was a great likelihood that the body of a female that was found near the Brown County Sheriff's Office was indeed my daughter Nicole. My heart is in so much pain and I'm just so confused about what may have happened to my daughter. I do not want to think that Doug was responsible for her death, but I'm scared that he may be. I wish that he was not responsible. Nicole did not really work much, maybe a couple of days in the past month. I was close with Nicole and would speak with her by phone daily. I would see her about 3 times a week. Nicole was a substitute teacher for the Green Bay School District. She also worked as a waitress and bartender at the Auden restaurant in De Pere. Brian had the kids on the weekend, and she had them during the week. Doug would not watch the baby. I would babysit the baby.
Well, sometimes I would, but not during the week, no. I just know that Doug wouldn't really watch the baby, so Nicole had to, okay?
Okay.
So it wasn't me watching him all the time. No, it was just that she was tied down there because he wouldn't help out with much.
So Doug would not watch the baby, so Nicole would have to.
Yeah.
I would sometimes babysit the baby.
Yes.
Okay. Doug was living at the house that he's now. Doug was living at the house that he's now living in when Nicole moved in. I'm not sure who owns the house, but I'm aware that Doug's parents help with paying for the mortgage as their money, as there is money problems. I'm also aware that the house may be currently for sale due to money issues.
Supposed to be.
Nicole did not have any life insurance, correct? I'm aware from personal observations that from speaking with Nicole that her relationship with Doug was not healthy and was abusive in nature. Doug was controlling with Nicole and kept her isolated. Doug would not come to family functions, and when Nicole did, she would be late. I believe this was because Doug did not want her attending. I recall that this last Mother's Day, they made plans to see his parents, but never came to see me. Doug refused to watch the baby so that she could go to work. This would also make it difficult for her to see her friends and spend time with them. Doug was able to spend time with his friends. Baby's currently with Doug. Nicole's other 2 children are currently with Brian, correct? Was there any issues with infidelity or cheating? Did she disclose any of that to you? Okay. I recall that last week Nicole had arranged for me to watch the baby so she and Doug could go out wine tasting, but Doug stood her up. I recall that at that time I had a conversation with Nicole and asked her if Doug ever hit her. She said that he did, but did not elaborate, and she did not speak about their relationship much. Correct? Has she ever told you on other occasions where he would have been violent? No. Nicole was an occasional drinker, and when she drank, she would have low tolerance to alcohol, so it would not take much for her to get intoxicated. I just don't understand what happened to her. I don't know why the others would have just left her in a bad neighborhood. I'm afraid to think that Doug was involved in killing Nicole, but I'm having these thoughts as nothing that he has told me makes any sense. The only possible scenario would be that a stranger assaulted, raped, and killed her because she was alone at night in a bad neighborhood, or Doug killed her. Based on the way that Doug has been acting, I just can't help but suspect him. I believe that Doug is capable of hurting and or killing Nicole. Doug told me information that appears to be contradictory in nature. Doug told me that on the night Nicole went missing, the two of them had not gotten into a fight. I later learned that Nicole may have sent Doug a text message about her being angry about another woman, and he should just go with them. I don't recall where I learned this information, possibly for Heather or the police after the phone examination. Obviously, there must have been an argument. The stranger theory does not seem likely, as the body was discovered so close to their home.
I don't know to say it, but I mean, I don't know.
That is the information you told me.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it's weird that it was just so close to home. Okay, I'm still not.
Right. You're entitled to whatever thoughts or opinions or feelings that you have. And it's our job to differentiate between evidence and fact and thoughts and feelings. Okay? I went to see Doug at his home on Saturday night. I went there with my husband. My daughter Heather was also there. Doug was there with his parents and the baby. Doug relayed that he and Nicole were at the watering hole. A band was playing at the watering hole. Nicole and Doug arranged to have a babysitter that night so they could go out. I babysat the baby on Friday night at their house from 7 p. to about 10:30 p. A girl by the name of Dallas took over babysitting the baby from about 10:30 p. until about 3 a.m. on Saturday morning. Dallas has babysat the baby before, but generally at her own house. Nicole knows Dallas from working with her at the Odin restaurant. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Nicole did not have any friends with her. On Friday night, Doug had a number of friends which he must have met out at the bars. Doug said that Nicole ended up leaving with his friends from the watering hole to go to the sardine can, which is the bar. Doug said that he stayed behind because he had to use the bathroom and there was a line. I learned that Doug's car was left at the watering hole that night. According to Doug, he relayed that he was driving that night. I guess it was possible that a friend of his by the name of Greg was driving him. Doug said that on his way to the sardine can, he texted Nicole, but her phone went dead. Doug arrived at the sardine can and Nicole was no longer there. Doug learned from his friends that Nicole was doing shots and was highly intoxicated. The friends went to get an Uber ride home and Nicole refused to go with him. Nicole was on the ground yelling and screaming.
That's what he said, yes. That's what Doug said. Okay, so that's according to Doug, that's what Nicole said.
According to Doug, Nicole was on the ground yelling and screaming, asking to be left alone. I guess she may have walked off and these people left her behind. Doug said that when he got to the sardine can, he did not find Nicole, so he drove around for 30 to 40 minutes looking for her, but was unsuccessful, so he went home.
That's fine, yeah, that's fine.
I learned from Dallas that Doug arrived home sometime around 3 a.m. Doug was with his friend Greg. Dallas told me that Doug and Greg were acting strange and were pacing around. Dallas asked about Nicole's whereabouts, and Doug said that she likes walking at night. Does it not make sense to me, as Nicole would not choose to go for a walk in the middle of the night while intoxicated. Dallas asked if Nicole got as far as Webster Street. Doug replied that Nicole did not get that far. Dallas asked jokingly if Nicole was in the trunk, and Doug said that she was not. Dallas told me that she was just concerned about Nicole. Doug only told me that Nicole walked away from his friends, and it did not sound like he was around when this occurred. Dallas also said that Doug and Greg wanted to leave the house once again, but she told them that she could not stay. Dallas did not know where the two of them wanted to go. Correct? Nicole has told me in the past that Doug has told her he did not want to stay at their current house due to bad thoughts that it gave him about his ex-girlfriend. Doug has called me, my daughter Heather, yesterday. Heather can relay what they spoke about. Doug called me this morning to see how I was doing and to see if he could come over. Under the totality of the circumstances and my suspicion that Doug may have been responsible for killing Nicole, I just don't think this is a good idea. I also feel I should try to take custody of the baby, but I do not know what my legal rights are. I do not feel that Doug is capable of taking care of the baby, and I'm willing to do so. I just feel like Doug has been different in the last couple of days. My husband noted that he was clammy. My husband noted that Doug appeared clammy. It is just very difficult to identify the specifics that lead me to believe Doug was involved in my daughter's death. This is just the thoughts and feelings that I am unfortunately having right now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It is just very difficult to identify the specifics that lead me to believe Doug is involved in my daughter's death. This is just the thoughts and feelings that I'm unfortunately having right now. Doug has provided inconsistent statements. The following are some of Doug's current stresses that I'm aware of. There are money problems, and his house is currently for sale. Doug and Nicole.
You should put it up for sale. I don't know, there's no sale sign on there, but they've been talking about having to put it up for sale, and he hasn't done it yet. And that's why the parents took over the mortgage payment. So it's not actually, I don't think it's listed, but I think he is getting his feet on that. I don't know, but she did say that his parents. I asked, how's he paying for it then? And she said, his parents.
Okay, so there are money problems, and they should put the house up for sale, but may not have done it yet, causing his parents to step in and assist financially.
Yeah.
Doug and Nicole had a young child very soon after their relationship began, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Doug's drug and alcohol use, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Doug's mental health issues that went untreated and undocumented and unmedicated.
And even maybe undocumented, I don't know, but
Okay.
You know, I don't know where that is, because I can't answer that, but,
So this is 4. There's just no one else that would want to hurt Nicole. I feel that Doug's behavior and the way he treated Nicole was just not normal and causes me great concern and suspicion. Do you know if Heather brought her phone with her today?
Would have probably.
What we like to do is, because you had some difficulty recalling, when certain calls came in, when certain text messages came in, all that kind of stuff, we would like to see if we can use your phone and we can look at that as well. Would that be okay with you? Okay. Are you planning, when we're done here, are you planning to stay with your daughter, Heather, for...
Yeah, we're gonna,
Because I want to make sure that you have a phone, and I want to make sure that I can get
I
hold
don't
of
even
you.
have my phone here, my phone is there.
That's what I mean. So what I'd like to do is, when we're done here, maybe go over to your house with you.
Take my phone.
Pick up your phone, bring it here. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully not more than a couple hours.
Okay.
And that way I could call Heather to get it back to you.
I'd be willing to do that, but I couldn't tell you which phone I was using, if I was using my landline or if I was using my cell.
Okay.
Because I know I had them both in here.
And that's okay, because landline we can get from phone companies, and we can get stuff from phone companies as well from your cell phone, but we can also get things from your cell phone itself. So if that's okay with you, I'd like to do that. Okay.
You know, people are calling.
I know they are, that's why I want to get it back to you as quick as possible. And you've been here for a few hours without it, so I'm sure you could probably go with a couple hours without it, especially if you're with your daughter and she has her phone, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to add that part in there.
I think it was mostly on my landline. I think you probably get most of the answers correct. I don't think I had much of myself. I was, you know what? The only thing I was really using myself for, I'll bring it in, but it was just to dial Nicole's number.
Okay. And that's important for us to see as well, when the dial was and all that stuff, so we can put a big timeline together, you know what I mean? So. So what we'll do is, when we're done here, I'll just go with you and I'll pick that up. And just so you understand that at any point in time, I'll give you my business card with my direct cell phone number. At any point in time, you can change your mind and revoke your consent, and I'll bring it right back to you. But hopefully it shouldn't take too long. Is it a smartphone?
No, I'm just like,
well, then it'll take really not that much time. Those things take a lot quicker time. So is there a passcode to get into your phone? You know? Well, there's a flip phone, so there's no passcode. No. Okay.
No, I'm just answering.
Yeah, those should take really quick then. Hopefully I can get it here, and hopefully it'll be a half hour or less, and I can get it right back to you. As long as you guys are going to be at your house or Heather's house.
My house. I don't know exactly what time.
Well, why don't we worry that in a little bit? I'm thinking it shouldn't take too long at all. I think I'll be able to drive it here and then drive it right back to you. So what I'm hoping, but I can call Heather and confirm.
I'm not sure exactly what time we are going to go and tell the kids.
Yes, I understand. that's some,
And this is somebody else's house. That's why I'm just kind of
yeah,
hesitant. 'Cause I didn't-
not a problem. Like I said, I'll give you my card, and I will have my direct cell phone number that you will be able to tell me no matter where you're at, I can meet you. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, then you can just go onto my landline, do whatever information from here, yeah? Right?
Through the phone companies.
Okay, that's good.
I'd be able to do
That's
that.
awesome. It's such a steady flow of people coming in this street.
So let's start with my contact information, make sure before I forget. Now, I am not the primary investigator on this, but I'm going to be working with the primary investigator. But in the meantime, I just want you to have my contact information so you know who you spoke with. And here on the back is my direct cell phone number, okay? And on the front is my information. So let's take care of this piece of paper here.
Do you guys have any idea? I mean, are the leads coming in?
We're having a lot of information that are coming in. That's why, while I've been speaking with you, other investigators are speaking with your daughter and numerous other people. We've been in contact with the district attorney's office and the medical examiner's office. We have a lot of people working on this at the same time, and we've been working on it ever since Saturday. Okay? So, unfortunately, because I've been with you here for a few hours, I only have a small piece of the puzzle. And then there's other individuals that are responsible for putting all those pieces of the puzzle together to get a bigger picture. Okay? So, let's see here.
So, one more, okay, if it was some stranger off the street, how difficult would that be to
I'm going to
track something like that down?
I'm going to tell you that no matter whether it was Doug, a stranger, or somebody else, these type of investigations are always difficult, no matter what. But that doesn't mean that we do not, that we can't find the truth, and our job is to look for the truth. I'm sure you saw recently there was the homicide that happened in Howard. They found a man dead in his house and nobody was around. And it took us a long time. It took us 3 years. But we were able to figure it out, and we were able to identify the 2 people that were involved, and they were eventually recently just sentenced to court. Sometimes things happen much quicker than that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, it's going to take years. Sometimes it takes hours, days, weeks, months. Other times it takes years, and we're going to do anything and everything possible. It's just too soon right now. We're only 2 days into it. It's just too soon to know how long or how difficult things are going to be, okay? How old are you, Vicki?
Oh, I feel 90. Oh, but I was born in 61, so I'm 54.
Is that in the city of Green Bay, Eastview Drive?
My house, yes.
And your cell phone number was again, what was it?
370-20-586.
8586?
And I don't call it 2586 minus 26. That's 2685. 2685. I always get that wrong. I'm sorry.
Not a problem whatsoever.
Yeah, that looks right.
So this here is today's date, time, your name, your address. To hereby voluntarily agree to the search of my cell phone number, which is a flip phone, no passcode, and it is owned, runs, and controlled by me, and permission, you're doing so freely and voluntarily without threats, force, or coercion of any kind, and you're providing the permission to me and anybody else that may be assisting you with the Brown County Sheriff's Office. So that's okay with you. I just need you to sign right there for me.
Oh, you need the passcode to get into the messages?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the passcode for that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
12685 pound,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for messages, right?
Yeah.
So let me give you a copy of this, so you can have that as well. And let's finish this here that we talked about. Passcode for messages,
1 and the telephone number.
12685.
2685.
Got it. And then pound, right?
I'm sorry?
And then pound at the end, right?
Mm.
Right, so the last paragraph is my cellular telephone is currently in my house. I'm willing to turn the cell phone over to Sergeant Ernestine so that it could be searched. I believe that I may have been primarily using my landline, but may have also used my cell phone. I willingly and voluntarily signed a consent to search form, providing Sergeant Ernestine consent to search my phone. Sergeant Ernestine also explained to me that I could revoke my consent at any time I wished. Sergeant Ernestine provided me with his contact information. It is a flip phone, so there's no passcode. The passcode to access messages is 12685, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else that we may have missed or may have not have talked about?
I think that was most of it.
Okay. Just because we didn't talk about it now, in case you think of something, you have my card. Just give me a call and we can always talk, okay? So I just need your initials there.
Yes. Fingers.
Yeah. Okay. And the last thing here is, I've given a statement of my own free will, no force, threats, or promises were made to me to obtain the statement of 5 pages. It is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. The statement has been read to me by Sergeant Ernestine, and I have read it. I'll throw my signature on there. Just need your signature right there, please. And below that, if you could put today's date,
Which is
5/23/2016. And somewhere in the white, if you can put 1:37 p.m., which is the time now. So, and then what happens is I create a PDF file, so nothing can be changed, and then I email it to myself, and it's basically a statement from you, so you didn't have to write it out, because I know that would probably be difficult, huh?
Yeah.
So, and then that's just like that. So, why don't I give you a walk back over to the lobby. I'll see how your daughter is doing, see if they're done or not. I know my partner likes to talk to folks, so they may still be talking. But in any case, let's see how long they'll be.
okay.
And then I'll arrange to go with you guys, okay?
All right.
Got that, folks.
And they said the restrooms were in...
Yep, right here. I can show you right where they are. Actually, if you follow me, there's one right by in the lobby there too.
Okay.
Take a right here and then a left.